wise man when he made the following comment: "Whoever said you can't buy happiness forgot little puppies." The day that I met my fur baby, it was one of the most memorable days that I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. To this day, I can still remember the smell of her puppy breath and the way her small tail bobbed up and down. Adopting my dog did not make me feel how I expected it to, so I had to adapt. My father and I went to Missouri to adopt my puppy, which was a black AKC standard poodle. These usually grow up to be about 50 pounds. When I got to the lady's house, it was very dilapidated. When we went in, the lady let us sit on the dirty couch, and it was at that point that I got to meet her. She was sitting on the other end of the couch, just chewing away on her rawhide. Those are still her favorite treats to this day. She was much too thin, where she should have been chubby. She also didn't seem to have any interest in people, which is usually a symptom of under-socialization. After hearing the breeder boast about how she decided to save money and take medical care into her own hands and cut the puppy's tails off at home instead of being responsible and going to the vet where proper medical care and pain medication could have been administered, I realized that she was a bad breeder. It made me realize that at-home breeding is usually not a good thing because the dogs are usually not introduced to enough people or not given enough medical care because the breeders are not as informed as they should be about possible risks of doing procedures at home. There are not very many regulations in this field of business, and that is probably the stem of the problem. All they have to do is breed their two dogs and put the offspring on internet sites such as puppyfinder.com, which can be dangerous for the puppies of the prospective owners because they are not screened properly to make sure they will be a good forever home. It has affected my life in many ways. I try to volunteer at the animal shelter more often, and I advocate against breeding because there are too many dogs in the world as it is. Some people do not go to shelters to adopt dogs. They're adding to the problem of overpopulation. It's a vivid memory because this happened when I was in 3rd grade, and I still remember it very well. I never would have guessed that getting a dog would have changed my opinion on dog breeding so drastically. I've gained a best friend, and I have become much more informed on a deceptively important issue that I've used this knowledge to better inform others about as well. While I would have done it differently if I had better known the implications of home breeding, hindsight is 20/20. I'm very happy that I have had Bug in my life, and we have practically grown up together. So many memories involve her that I do not want to imagine my childhood without her. She is my personal proof that dogs are a man's best friend. I've learned to never think that a small action cannot majorly change your life for the better. You just need to be open to the possibility of being wrong and willing to make changes. Do you want to go around?
Go around.